King is dead, all hail the new king. Faramir defeated by Sirlami. Sirlami now defending his throne. He will be up against RedxWings. KO2 legend extraordinaire. He has fielded a grand total of 1 commander, infantry company, and is spamming rear echelon troops like there's no tomorrow and spreading out, taking territory. So we're going to see hard price style rear echelon spam with M1919s, it seems, anyway. So, should be interesting. Throwing barbed wire down to deny cover in various locations, taking territory quite rapidly. 6 REs on the field now. Sirlami going to go with a MG42 opening, Grenadier into MG42 opening. Second squad of Grenadiers on its way now. Rear echelons spreading out. Grab munitions initially. Both munitions points being captured. Rear echelons try and leave their position in red cover by advancing a little bit forward out of it to engage against these Pyos right here. But an MG42 moving up, and even Pyos are able to beat quite reliably rear echelon troops. RedxWings has to be careful here. He will apparently be able to get control of that munitions, taking control of everything here in the north. This squad making its way towards Sirlami's cutoff, while this squad makes its way towards the building around RedxWings munitions. Will probably be able to secure control of that unless a squad can sneak in from the north without that Grenadier squad noticing. Rear echelon troops here will get suppressed and pinned by MG42 fire, so RedxWings will simply be forced to retreat right there. Another squad here behind the hedge might be able to get control of the strategic point there in the south. And rear echelon troops are jumping into the building here. Wait. Why are allies left? Why does everybody get the base positions wrong? Like, is it so hard? It's so hard to just get the base positions right?
The capture point is under attack. That's it. Points out.
Oh well, fighting position up right here. Pointed at the VPs. MG42 is making its way this area. I guess if the allies are red, that's a red flag. Everybody knows that Germany are the bad guys. Therefore, they should be red. Allies should be blue. Grenadiers working on the fuel there in the north. Pyos forced out of the munitions point right there. Rear echelon troops engaging at them from range. Rear echelon troops standing in green cover here. They will lose against Grenadiers eventually, standing in the capture circle to get the point recaptured. RedxWings trying to take full advantage of his huge amount of capping power right now. Doesn't really, of course, have that much firepower, and he's actually not going to save munitions purely for M1919s. He just unlocked BARs through one on this squad. He's also spent 60 on the fighting position right here, so he's going to try to keep his munitions count down and try and bridge the gap to M1919s rather than just going full rear echelon spam into LMGs later. So it's really not the same as Captain Price style at all. It's a very different build. And I am intrigued. But he's not going to field himself an officer yet, as far as I can tell. Spending all of his fuel on the BAR upgrade, and then on another 10 on this ambulance. And he's not extending beyond a 6 rear echelon corps either. So he's not actually spamming that hard. Spending a lot of manpower on a fighting position, on the ambulance, on the base upgrades, and so on. Which is going to leave him a little weak. But despite that, he has a very healthy amount of territory, just no fuel coming in. Neither player has that much fuel. Sirlami, of course, has his fuel point, though, so RedxWings is struggling a little bit in that regard, but of course he has a massive munitions advantage. Sirlami has only 21 coming in to RedxWings 68 munitions. This rear echelon squad will encounter a flamethrower right here as they start harassing the strategic point right outside Sirlami's base. They will be under flamethrower fire. I'm going to reposition away slightly. Grenadiers working on rear echelon troops in the south, force them to retreat as well. Second BAR equipped here by RedxWings. And he's going to go Captain tier next.
Our supply line just got cut off. Squad, get ready! Crew ready.
Last time I saw RedxWings play US forces, I think his build was something along the lines of bazookas on his rear echelon troops, supported by 50 cals. This time he's sort of inverted that strategy into BARs on his rear echelon troops, supported by captain tier, so bazookas on the captain and then potentially the AT gun. Maybe we'll see a Stuart this game. Since he has massive munitions control, well, he will be able to afford lots of weapons, but since his fuel control is terrible, he may be up against a very early Ausländer Panzer IV. Sirlami has chosen German mechanized doctrine, so the Command Panther will be a threat eventually. Going to go with a bunker here with his somewhat limited munitions. Rear echelon troops there, going to be forced to retreat. RedxWings getting control of all territories here in the south. Grenadiers awaiting healing by this bunker, and it looks like Sirlami may finally manage to get a munitions point under his control. These rear echelon troops don't have any weapon upgrades, so they're not going to be able to do anything really against Grenadiers, especially at long range. Just going to take a little bit of light manpower bleed here, inflict probably none in return. MG42 continues to defend in this area and will suppress those rear echelon troops as they jump into a green cover position right there. Another squad is trying to move up on the flank, but Grenadiers are on their way to push that back. Looks like RedxWings will fail in this engagement and be forced away. Ooh, another squad moving up on this flank right here. MG doesn't quite get a burst off in time. BAR may be a serious threat. MG will retreat as a result, but the cutoff has been maintained, and the squad is going to have to get out of here. If RedxWings doesn't want to lose that BAR, he needs to retreat immediately. Oh, there he goes. Bit of a late retreat. I'm pretty sure he'll get away, especially since Sirlami is going to retreat out of that engagement anyway for healing of his own. BAR's squad moving up, meanwhile, onto this cutoff is going to try... How are there grenade craters right there? What happened? Oh, the captain moved to engage here in the north, fired some bazookas, forcing one retreat from Sirlami's Grenadier squad, and Flamethrower, in fact, there in the north. And Sirlami's just going to retreat everything. Because Sirlami has retreated all of his infantry squads out of the north, RedxWings should be able to get some of that territory back under his control, and RedxWings just fielded a mortar half-track. I was expecting non-meta. I don't know if I was expecting that. Interesting choice. See if you can make it work. 50 cal will continue to defend the munitions point here in the south. Sirlami getting himself tier 2 now. Once he has an AT gun on the field, he will of course be able to destroy that. And RedxWings has gone bazookas, I think. Unless the captain dropped one. No. So that's bazooka and BAR tech from RedxWings, and now of course the LMG rack is also unlocked.
Mechanized mortar carrier is now ready for action. Secure. Grenadiers here! We're under attack! Squad under attack! We may now deploy mechanized assault groups, Commander.
Mortar slowly working on the church. It's actually getting some pretty good hits off. The structure's going down fast. MG42 inside is not going to be able to stick around forever. 50 cal here in the south forces a retreat from Grenadiers that I guess Sirlami either didn't realize there was a 50 cal upgrade or he just forgot about it. Rear echelon troops continue taking control of territories in the north, and RedxWings will finally claim the north fuel with his captain. And the map is definitely swinging back into his favor. There's now a mechanized Grenadier group deployed here by Sirlami, making its way onto the field. With the Flamethrower inside, pop the Grenadiers out, put the Pioneers in. That's 500 manpower to field, not cheap. RedxWings is going to need to get one of his bazooka squads down here to counter that, and 2 are already on their way. I think that's 2 bazookas total. Yeah, 2 bazookas, 1 on each squad, but that should be more than enough to force this to retreat. BAR moving up on the flank. Ooh, lucky mortar hit right there, too! 1 bazooka connects, second one couldn't quite get in range to fire, but the 50 cal is actually spraying that half-track a little bit. taking heavy damage. RedXWings will continue chasing. It's a little stranded down here. There is one squad of Grenadiers available to maybe try and push this back. And it looks like the half-track has gotten clear. Will be able to retreat to safety. Grenadiers take a unfortunate bazooka snipe. They'll be forced to retreat through red cover. Ooh, a second bazooka snipe. They're actually in serious danger of getting wiped. You get clear of the red cover before the second 50 cal burst right there, but that was actually closer than I thought it was going to be. Captain is forced to retreat from the right side engagement by an MG42 plus Grenadiers. And 2 Grenadiers moving up here through the center put the mortar half-track in danger. RedXWings has gone with a munitions cache right here to help fund the purchase of all of his heavy weapons. He continues the purchase of BARs, LMGs, bazookas on his various squads. And his mortar half-track will be laying fire on probably this structure. So Grenadiers won't be able to stick around in there for too long. And Grenadiers are working on the munitions, fuel, and victory points there in the north, while RedXWings moves up to the fuel point there in the south and circles back up towards the center with his bazooka.
Our supply line is cut. Germans are making a push. We just got promoted.
Flamethrower in the half-track makes its way back towards the south, chases RedXWings off of that fuel point. Sirlami's also getting control of the north fuel point back. He definitely has a fuel advantage right now. He has pretty much all game. He's also built a cache of his own. Fuel cache right there. And he's now battle phase 2. Probably going to try and get a Panzer IV out well in advance of the command tank. And he's quite close to being able to afford it. AT gun there for RedXWings. Means that half-track needs to be very careful. No bazookas in the immediate vicinity as far as I can tell. AT gun is not able to get a line and is actually falling dangerously low to Grenadier fire from the center. Looks like that might get cleared. Gets to safety very narrowly. Rear echelon troops retreat away from a rifle grenade. 2 squads in the south don't look like they're likely to win an engagement against LMG Grens unless maybe those rear echelon troops or captain get a lucky bazooka snipe. They will avoid each other inadvertently, walking around both ends of that hedge. And it looks like Sirlami is going to go straight to tier 4 again. Not going to press his fuel advantage yet with a quick Panzer IV, and he's going to try and make it all the way to, I assume Panther, but maybe not. And RedXWings has built mostly munitions caches, but also a fuel cache here. So two munitions caches, fuel cache right there. Fighting position still doing all right. And the Grenadiers have not moved to engage against the captain on the south fuel point yet. A few squads making their way towards the middle. Mortar is bombarding.
There's a major reporting for action.
AT gun set up in red cover, going down very fast. Probably get cleared. BAR rear echelon troops move to try and counter. AT gun gets back to safety again by a tiny sliver. Mortar half-track misses, but the squads are going to retreat after taking a little bit of damage there anyway. 2 squads of Grenadier and machine gun defending the fuel there in the north, but thus far RedXWings has made no real effort to counter that. And tier 4 is in production. Meanwhile, RedXWings just spent all of his fuel on maybe not, maybe I'm on a major. So major on the field. It's gonna take some time for him to get to Jackson, which I think he's going for, maybe? I'm not sure. He's currently got 2 LMGs, 2 bazookas, 2 BAR squads, 2 of each heavy weapon equipped on his rear echelon troops in addition to his mortar half-track and AT gun. Got the forward retreat point set up. Not experiencing much success on any front though. LMG rear echelons are probably going to lose against LMG Grens. They don't have any cover. Going down fast. Mortar half-track trying to force these infantry from cover, but so far no lucky hits. Bazookas on those rear echelon troops will force the half-track right there to retreat. And RedxWings doesn't really seem to be breaking through on any fronts. Sirlami is floating 1,000 manpower now, despite the fact that he's also managed to take control of the entire map. RedxWings is floating 500, not quite as much as his opponent. Panzerwerfer in production. So not Panther. Panzerwerfer will probably help him soften this up.
Squad on your feet. Ready. Send orders.
And still 2 CP&a away from the command tank. So
A capture point is being overrun.
once Sirlami gets control of the victory point right here, we'll start being able to turn the victory point situation around. RedxWings currently has 100 VP lead.
Pay attention this way.
HC gun gets a shot on the half track right there. That's going to pull back immediately. Captain moving up with his Thompson should be able to force away the Grenadiers right there, unless he dies immediately, which he did. Actually, no, the officer model has the bazooka. Oh, I didn't know that could happen. That's pretty bad, actually. If the officer model gets a bazooka, then there's no Thompson in the squad. I'm surprised that's possible. Or at least I'm surprised that's possible with 5 men still alive. I guess. I don't know. That's weird. Didn't realize that could happen.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire.
I wonder if there's RNG involved in that, or if it's just the order in which the models die, or what. Panzerwerfer barrage here in the back. Doesn't look like I really hit anything except for this cache, which RedxWings should be able to get repaired easily enough. Half track in the south is going to be forced to pull back to safety. It's quite close to being destroyed by bazooka fire. Mortar working on those Grens. Bazooka shot actually does connect with the half track down here, and it will be destroyed. Flamethrower needs to pull back to safety consequently. Bazookas are on the hunt for the Panzerwerfer, which is going to have to pull back completely into the Oster base while they work on the cutoff. LMG equipped squads are making their way up to the front line to try and hold this territory, setting up in green cover for these Grenadiers' advance, while the captain makes his way up towards the VP and keeps the clock ticking against Sirlami, who is floating resources like crazy. Will be able to afford any tier 4 unit he pleases, though. Surprised he hasn't fielded another one and get a Broom Bear or a Panther. Meanwhile, RedxWings is going to field his first Sherman at 19 minutes, which is an extremely late Sherman, but it will be the first tank on the field. Sirlami doesn't even have any AT guns. He could field them. He's got tier 2 and 1,000 manpower, but he's waiting until he sees his opponent's tank, I guess, to make that decision. Because he may not be entirely certain that RedxWings plans to field any tanks at all. He does, though. But he may have been stockpiling his manpower in case he was up against just hard infantry spam, not wanting to waste manpower on AT guns if he didn't have to. Panzerwerfer moves up into short range to fire somewhere. Looks like he fired blind in the center and is not going to hit anything. One squad of rear echelon troops forced to retreat here from the south, I think from possibly a rifle grenade. No. Sirlami is losing control of his cutoff, and he's also cut off in the north. MG42 gets flanked by more LMG rear echelon troops. They're going to have to pull back to the safety of the base. And RedxWings will have both fuel points at least briefly cut off, slowing down Sirlami's tank economy, or production, but certainly not halting it, and not getting himself that much fuel coming in either. And he never at any point has access to this fuel point, and is only now getting back control of the north fuel. Has not held either fuel point for any significant amount of time this game. Both fuel points have spent a lot of time cut off, but mostly Sirlami has had them under his control, which is why there's a Panther on the field and a Panzerwerfer at the same time as one Sherman and one mortar half track. Panther goes in hard on the fighting position right there. And unfortunately located this Sherman. Sherman needs to somehow pull back to safety without sustaining engine damage if possible. It deploys smoke right here. Panther gives up the chase to destroy the fighting position. There are Grenadiers here, which may threaten the Sherman with engine damage, but it's actually probably going to locate the Panzerwerfer, completely undefended over here. Panther not available to contend against it. A T-gun taking shots at the Panther meanwhile. And the Panzerwerfer will actually get abandoned over here. Meanwhile, an LEFH is going up in the base, which RedxWings may spot, trying to destroy the Panzerwerfer, but taking his sweet time. Destroyed engine, apparently. Takes engine damage from Panzerfaust fire right there. Finally, he will destroy the Panzerwerfer, but the fact that he had to stick around for so long may cost him his Sherman. Rear echelon troops arrive to try and save the day, and a big volley of bazooka fire right there actually brings the Panther to about half. Panther switches to armor-piercing rounds, takes a shot, but it bounces. He's trying to get into the cover of this smoke. The smoke deployed on this machine gun does not quite block it from firing, unfortunately. It will block the Sherman from firing its second shot. Bazooka's trying to get in range on the Panther's rear armor. Not quite successful yet. Panther circles around so that its frontal armor will be faced towards the Sherman. Sherman misses another shot. Machine gun looks like it will probably get cleared here. Panther continues to kite these bazookas. Machine gun does go down, and the Panther will get to safety. RedxWings recovers the MG42. And a flamethrower is also available to be recovered right there. Panther gets its main gun destroyed, which means it will be destroyed right there by bazooka fire. Even if that hadn't happened, the Sherman might have even been able to hunt it down. RedxWings will now pull into the lead, and so far this tournament, Sirlami is just failing to make Oster Tier 4 work.
Get ready. That's it.
Pretty
Send your orders.
pretty impressive performance by RedxWings with that Sherman to hunt and destroy that Panzerwerfer. Doing some very careful dancing and usage of smoke around the buildings. And he emerges from that engagement victorious. Sirlami, of course, had a huge amount of manpower float. If he had just fielded maybe even one AT gun before that engagement, who knows how it might have gone. RedxWings AT gun, meanwhile, over here has been cleared. Needs to find a way to recover that. I don't think, other than the AT gun going down, that RedxWings has lost anything. Nope. Not even a single rear echelon troop squad. Not even a cache. Oh, he's lost a fighting position. And RedxWings will put the stolen MG42 inside of this structure, try and push these squads off the center VP. Mortar slowly working on Grenadiers. Wow, the mortar actually has 10 kills. Which doesn't sound like that many, but for the US mortar half-track it is quite a lot. Cover in the center is destroyed, and rear echelon troops look like they will overwhelm those Grenadiers with superior numbers and heavy weaponry. Force that retreat, get the center VP under their control. Try and get the clock ticking against Sirlami again, who has only 150 VPs remaining and not that much fuel right now. Not much coming in and not much stockpiled. It's going to be a while before the next Tier 4 unit, and RedxWings still has his Sherman on the field in addition to a second one in production now.
Grenadiers reporting. You guys, listen to me if you want to live.
All squads reinforcing and healing here. Neoster base. A few territories changing hands.
Send over. Target secure.
And the American AT gun apparently got recovered by Sirlami at some point. So that will be a very nice pickup. Controlling that AT gun will help significantly against the existing Sherman. There's now 2 on the field. Mortar half-track might deploy white phosphorus against something. Flamethrower recovered by the Grenadiers there, also helping a little bit against RedxWings infantry. So there's a Pack 40 and American AT gun defending the central road. Light harassment of the north by that Grenadier squad gets shut down by BAR equipped rear echelon troops, and Shermans are starting to advance a little bit, looking for aggressive opportunities in the center. MG42 also defending. Bazooka dropped by the captain right there. The squad looks like it will get away to safety. especially under mortar fire. They can't stick around too long. U.S. mortar's not that scary, but can pose a threat to squads standing still long enough. Gets a lucky enough hit. Grenadiers will recover the bazooka right there. American AT gun shot bounces off the Sherman, which is pulling back to safety, and Red Wings will deploy white phosphorus on that AT gun, try and get that thing to retreat. Rifle grenade onto the machine gun.
We lost a gun crew.
Oh, we canceled the white phosphorus barrage, maybe. Yeah.
Round 42.
Grenadiers attempting to recover this machine gun, I think. Change their minds, let's just start firing on this AT gun instead. Red Wings has a couple of squads in the area, is trying to get them healed and back into the fight. A lot of vetted rear echelon troops should probably be able to overwhelm this small force of infantry, especially with mortar support, picking off grenadiers here and there. In the north, a rifle grenade on those rear echelons threatens to wipe them, bring the squad low. Wow, I can't believe that LMG burst didn't kill them. They make a miracle escape right there. Sherman destroyed by AT gun fire here in the middle. The other Sherman is moving up on the flank of those guns with another bazooka squad right here. They're both very tightly clumped next to each other, so they may struggle to actually get shots off on the Sherman, even if it does sustain engine damage. This could be a very bad engagement for Sirlami. American AT gun cleared already. Second one going down fast in the red cover road. Meanwhile, the machine gun is getting laser beamed to death by LMG fire. It does go down. All of Sirlami's team weapons have been cleared, and he's reduced. Ooh, that crush. Reduced to only 6 squads of grenadiers as his next Panther makes its way to the battlefield. If Red Wings recovers these AT guns before the Panther arrives, it may have a drastically limited impact. Wow, oh, he had 7, I think, squads of Grens on the field, plus 3 team weapons. And in the space of 30 seconds, Red Wings reduced his armor to only 4 Grens remaining. And I still don't think he's lost a single full squad of infantry anywhere.
Back to full strength.
He's lost AT guns and a stolen machine gun. He's lost a Sherman. But his core of rear echelon troops is holding it very surprisingly strong. All 6 of them at Vet 3, all 6 of them equipped heavy weapons. Sherman takes engine damage and destroys the American AT gun, but Red Wings is not successful in getting control of the Pack 40. Grenadiers will move to recover that now, and the Panther shows itself. Red Wings needs to try and pull that away. There is an 18 gun wall set up here in the back for that Sherman. Trying to get that back, but Pack 40 plus Panther are bursting it down very hard, and it doesn't look like there's any way it's going to be able to survive. No smoke deployed by Red Wings either, and it will be destroyed right there. AT guns could not get in range to support in time. Red Wings didn't even move them into range to support, wanted to keep them away, I assume, from the LMG Grens. So his Sherman will be destroyed. Third Sherman, however, is rolling onto the field now, and of course he still has access to 2 AT guns and a pretty healthy quantity of bazookas, since his opponent's infantry army has been so drastically reduced. He should have the tools he needs to manage the threat of that Panther. Sherman takes a lot of anti-tank gunfire and is forced to pull back to safety. But Red Wing's infantry corps is fully healed and reinforced and making its way back to the front line. And the clock is about to start ticking against Sirlami again. He has only 150 victory points now, as the clock is turned back against him here in the south and north. Red Wing is getting both VPs back under his control simultaneously, and the clock will be ticking very quickly. Panther moves up to try and take shots at the mortar half-track, I think. Can't quite get in range. The American AT guns here will provide pretty effective protection against that Panther. Red Wings continues working the flanks. 1 squad of Grenadiers is on its way up there to try and turn that around. Recon pass? No, smoke bombs, apparently. Smoke bombs deployed in the middle, which will cover Sirlami's retreat just as much as it covers Red Wing's advance, giving him cover to take control of that machine gun. He advances up through the smoke with his LMGs and secures himself vision of the Panther and Pios right there. Grenadiers in the north getting gunned down by BARs. Nice dodge by Red Wings. He's working all the flanks and an engagement in the center, but he still manages to dodge that rifle grenade just in time. And Grenadiers will be forced to retreat consequently. Sherman moving up to protect here in the north as well. LMG is trying to take control of the cutoff right now, or engaging against a squad of Grenadiers, because they're equipped with a bazooka right there. Their anti-infantry capability is actually significantly reduced. One squad forced to retreat anyway, but this one does get cut off under their control.
Squad is back to full strength. MG-42!
Grenadiers forced to retreat right there. Panther is fully repaired and makes its way up to the front line to try and push away these rear echelon troops. The AT guns are set up to counter. One shot penetrates. LMG doesn't want to stick around any further, taking a lot of damage from those advancing Pios. The Panther is pushed back a little bit. This blob of infantry by RedxWings AT guns bring those Pios down quick thanks to bazooka snipes. That one getting away only very narrowly across the red cover road. LMG Grenadiers are here. Rifle grenade into the blob. Doesn't do that much though.
Press your attack. They're down to 50 points.
And that's the game. Looks like Sirlami doesn't think he can recover from this situation. The loss of his first Panther was just too expensive, and RedxWings working the flanks really well at all points, taking full advantage of the fact that his build has a huge amount of capping power. Managed to steal all of Sirlami's team weapons. He has an MG-42 in the south, another one defending the middle. Both of his AT guns still alive. Sirlami reduced to basically nothing remaining. His infantry just could not keep up. Couldn't keep up for victory points, and RedxWings was definitely going to take this game with a 299 VP Allied victory. Let's see if Sirlami can recover from that in Game 2.